Welcome back, Harbor Hawks Nation, to another episode of your lovely parking lot preview. I'm Mike Maynard alongside Matt Coates, back again in the parking lot of McKeon Park. Great to be back. Missed a couple days there, took a little break. 4th of July. Hope you all had a great holiday and day after. But we're back at it for some baseball. Hyannis taking on Orleans tonight in Orleans. Matt, should be a great game again here tonight.
Yeah, Mike, we're traveling to Eldridge Park for the first time this season. I believe this will be the last ballpark that we have to check off the list so far for the summer, so that's exciting. I love Eldridge Park, love the hills on the side. Great place to watch a baseball game. So excited to go over there and take on an Eastern rival team this year.
We got a lot of wind, if you can hear us, hopefully, and the camera's shaking, but it's still a great day for baseball. No rain.
There was rain earlier.
Now, rain earlier in the day, but should be good. Should get the game in. But should be an interesting matchup. Hyannis coming in at 10-6-1. Orleans 4-13, not having the year that they are hoping to have, at least at the start. Wow, that camera's really shaken up. We'll get a little correction mid-show. Thank you, Matthew.
The show must go on.
But yeah, first time traveling to Orleans. Should be a really fun experience, fun environment. Like you said, Eldridge Park, a great place to watch a baseball game. Taking the trip. You know, Orleans is a decent ride. Nothing compared to Wareham. No offense, Wareham, but it's a rough one. Hopefully, don't hit any Saturday traffic today too.
No, I'd rather not.
But we're going to watch baseball, so it's all good in the end, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll hop in to the season series between these two teams. First time was earlier on in the season. What happened in that matchup, Matt?
Yeah, Mike, that was very early on in the season when Hyannis was on one of their hot stretches. You know how we've been a team of runs, I'd like to say. It was a 6-3 victory for Hyannis. That game was led offensively by Parker Brocious, who's no longer with the team, got injured, had to leave, but also Wallace Clark. Both had 2 RBIs. Wallace still with us. Maybe he'll have a big impact here tonight. That game was here, though, at McKeon Park. First time going on the road, taking on Orleans again. Obviously good to have the lead in the season series. It's only been one game, very small sample size. Will be interesting to see what happens tonight, Mike.
6-3 victory, always a good one when the win comes in, no matter the score. Another win came last night, though, for the Harbor Hawks, defeating the Wareham Gatemen 8-6 last night. Now, that score 8-6 is a little bit misleading.
Yeah.
It was 8-1 for a majority of the ball game, and then, you know, a little 5 spot in the 9th inning, but it doesn't matter.
No.
Who cares? But a great game for the Harbor Hawks overall. What did you see out of the team last night?
Yeah, Mike, if you take away the 9th inning, that was a top-to-bottom dominant victory for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Look at that game. For the majority of it, I was more so thinking mercy rule than I was thinking of a deficit. Got to the 9th inning, got a little bit roughed up, got my heart rate going a little bit, got me a little bit nervous. But ultimately, the boys were able to pull a victory, which is all that matters. We would have liked to get a few extra bonus in the run differential column, but that's all right. We'll take the victory. We'll take the points. Now have the lead on Wareham in the season series, 2-1 us, which is huge because they're a Western Division rival. And with the wild card format playoffs this year, seeding is massive. No matter what your seed is, you only have one game in the first round of the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs to advance. So that one seed is even more valuable than it has been in years past.
Right, and last night was a big one. Like you said, a Western opponent. We'll get another camera fix mid-show. Technical difficulties. The show goes on. We do it in one take here on the parking lot preview. A couple of the new guys, though, last night having some big performances. Alex Lodies continues his hot start. 3 for 4 last night with an RBI and a run scored. Huge game for him. And then Josh Tate comes out of nowhere. First day on Cape yesterday, and he gets right in the lineup. An injury to Nick Groves on an unbelievable catch out in center field. And out of necessity, Josh Tate comes into the game and gets himself a 2-hit night, plays some decent defense, and overall just has a good game in his first appearance. So 2 guys that are new to the lineup. We had a new pitcher last night. Josh Ogg comes in, has a good performance, 2 scoreless innings. Overall, the team's got some moving parts here and there. Some players that have been with the team from the beginning of the season ended up moving on. And some of these new guys are filling in and having a lot of success early on. It's been great to see. And like you mentioned, the wins are really all that matters. It's huge to have those coming. No matter the runs differential, no matter the score, huge to get those wins. And another one coming last night against the Gatemen was huge. But Orleans didn't have the same luck last night. Matt, they take on the YD Red Sox last night. What was the ending of that game? What did that look like?
Yeah, last night, Orleans lost against the YD Red Sox, 11-4. Victory for YD against the Firebirds. You look at that game. It was an early Orleans lead, Then Whitey came in after the second inning on, took back the lead and never relinquished it. I mean, Whitey's a fantastic team. We saw them very recently. We're able to split a 2-game series with them. Thankfully, they had the best record in all of Cape Cod Baseball League when we had those two matchups. So a tough team, tough matchup for Orleans. They dropped that game. They got outscored. It's a tough game for them. They're going to want to flush it. They're coming home. They have the comfortability in their own ballpark. They're going to look to take us on for the first time in a few weeks, and they're excited to do so.
It's been a while, like you mentioned. It's been a few weeks, so these teams, a lot of moving pieces, as I mentioned earlier. It's going to be different. It's going to be a different matchup. You can't just base everything off of last game between these two teams. It should be really interesting. And like you mentioned, home game for Orleans. Obviously, home field advantage does play a factor here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Should be really interesting. But the pitching is going to be huge for this ball game. Starting on the mound tonight for Hyannis, Luke Nichols, a 6'2" left-handed pitcher out of LA Tech. 78 2/3 innings pitched over the spring, 4.5 ERA, just about 82 Ks to 29 walks. Pretty solid for him. 3 different appearances for him so far on Cape. 2 starts.
Yep.
Had a lot of success so far. 7 2/3 inning pitch, 9 strikeouts, 4 walks, 10 hits. ERA is a little high.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you're really looking at is like bring that down a little bit. We'll be in business. But Luke Nichols overall settling in. He's now got 3 different appearances under his belt, 2 starts. Should be a little bit more polished tonight, a little bit more experience, a little bit less nerves, more comfortable. Hopefully should be a big start out of him. What can we expect, though, out of Luke Nichols tonight?
Yeah, we got the bus driving by right now, getting ready to bring our players over east towards Orleans. Hopefully you can still hear me. If not, there it is. There goes the bus. But yeah, Luke Nichols, Cape veteran at this point, making his 4th appearance in his 3rd start. That experience matters on Cape Cod. Like you said, he has a double-digit ERA, just over 11. Obviously not what you want to see, but I think that experience on Cape is really going to help him settle in tonight. Going against an Orleans team that has struggled a bit during the season, hopefully that gives him the confidence going into the start to attack the zone, limit the walk numbers, maybe limit the hit numbers, and keep those strikeouts high. And with that, I think he can really drop that ERA and prove why he's here on our roster. Great pitcher. There's a reason we're continuing to start him. I think that ERA will certainly go down after this matchup. 100%.
He's here for a reason. That ERA doesn't speak to his capabilities. Obviously, had a lot of success at school. Not so much on Cape, but it's early. He's got time to figure it all out. But he'll be taking on a pretty good pitcher on the Orleans side. Tell me about Callan Fang.
Yeah, Mike, Callan Fang, kind of the exact opposite story. You look at his numbers on Cape, they've been phenomenal. The 2024 Ivy League Pitcher of the Year at Harvard. You might have heard us said that a few times. That's because Ryan Dromboski was a 2023 Ivy League Pitcher of the Year. This year is Callan Fang. At school, he had 64 innings pitched, a 4.64 ERA, 83 strikeouts, only 20 walks, and 11 starts. On Cape, 2 starts, 3 appearances, just like Luke Nichols. 10 innings pitched, 1.8 ERA, 16 Ks, only 3 hits. Only 3 walks, only 4 hits allowed. Look at those numbers-wise. He's absolutely phenomenal. Guy who's come to the Cape, adjusted right away, and is not afraid to attack the zone. Not afraid to go after those hitters, as you can see with 16 Ks, over 10 innings, very few hits, and walks given up to opposing offenses. Fang's going to come in with a lot of confidence. Ivy League Pitcher of the Year, great stats on Cape, as he should. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup. He's going to potentially put Orleans on his back for the first few innings in this matchup. Guy who's been hot, and I can't really see him pulling off today, Mike.
We've talked about it recently. A lot of pitchers that don't have a ton of experience, either at school, on Cape, both. These 2 guys have that experience, have those accolades. They've shown that they can have success at a high level, and they're going to hopefully put on a show for us tonight. Hopefully one side more than the other, obviously, but should be a good game nonetheless. Sorry about the camera, folks. We really apologize. It's just, when you don't have a cameraman and you're worrying about a tripod holding your camera up, things sometimes don't work out the way they should. I mean, if you could see the trees right now, they're blowing. They're whipping. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up here with our player of the game picks. I'll start us out. I'm going to go with a guy that I just mentioned a little bit earlier, having a lot of success early on. That's Alex Lodies, coming out of FSU, playing great defensively. But the huge thing that he's had is just a great start offensively at the plate. I think his average is at 583, if I'm not mistaken, right now. I mean, obviously, it's a small sample size, but continued his success last night, going 3 for 4, had a double, and drove in a run, scored a run himself. He's having a lot of success at the plate. I think he continues that tonight. This whole lineup had a lot of success last night, but These new guys are bringing life to the team. They're inspiring the other guys to have a lot of success. I think Alex Lodiz is huge in that aspect, and I think he's in for another one again tonight. Hopefully he can get to Kellen Fang early, maybe get a couple runs on the board and get Fang out of the game quickly, because we know he's capable of a lot of successful things. And hopefully Alex Lodiz has a big performance tonight in Orleans.
Yeah, that's a great pick. Like you said, Lodiz has come down to the Cape and has wasted no time adjusting. In a wood bat league, it's always kind of surprising when you see a guy excel right away. Excel with extra base hits. He's had a homer already in the season, and excel for average. Three things you think would take time coming from a full season with metal bats, a season so long because he went to Omaha with the Florida State Seminoles. It will come right down here to the Cape, pick up a wood bat, and he's slashing already. Great pick. I'm going to go to another guy, a guy who got the rest last night. That's Blake Cavill. Blake, player obviously we picked up after Falmouth released him early in the season. He had the home run in his first at-bat over against the Brewster Whitecaps. Great player, left-hander, going against a right-handed pitcher out of Harvard. I expect him to be in the lineup, likely playing first base, playing solid defense, has the power in his bat. Expect him to go out and produce for these Harbor Hawks. Hopefully, lead us to a victory, Mike.
I love it. Two newer guys to the team,
Mm-hmm.
experiencing a lot of success early on. And you mentioned it, Blake Cavill, home run in his first at-bat. We've talked about it before on this show. Played in Australia. He knows what this environment's like, playing at these smaller little fields. Not a ton of fans, but the fans are passionate. The fans are loud. It's a fun experience that not a lot of guys have experienced here, playing at FSU and playing at these big schools. They don't really get this small town experience outside of high school. Blake Cavill's got that. He knows how to produce in these moments. We're watching people drive by.
Jackson
a lot of players.
West.
Shout out Jackson West, another FSU guy. Anyways, love the pick of Blake Cavill. Love my pick as well. Love the whole lineup. The Hawks are hot. The Hawks are having a great summer so far. 10-6-1. Let's make it 11-6-1 tonight. How about it, guys? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next time. See you in Orleans. See you at Hyannis. See you on the screen. We got a Bumblebee joining the show. Everything's crazy on the parking lot preview. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you, Matt, for being here. We'll see you next time. Go Hawks.